Remember the time that tribal lady spit on the heads of the globalists during an alleged health crisis? Yep. Well, it's that time of year again, as of course Davos, the World Economic Forum, is meeting once again, as there was a rebuke right to their face done by the very powerful Javier Milei and Donald J. Trump that just finished their larger address to this globalistic confab that gets off trying to control and centralize power for themselves. Now, I've been looking into the globalist and internationalist and these types of organizations for over 20 plus years, and whether it's the Bilderberg Group, the World Economic Forum, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, you name it, these larger secret, not so secret kind of societies out there do essentially one thing and one thing only: galvanize as much power and authority for themselves as much as they can, all in the name of doing good. And then when we look into that larger good, it's good for them and bad for everyone else, as these publications literally create psyops out there trying to convince you that you will own nothing, you will have no privacy, and somehow you will be happier than ever, as these people are essentially representing the billionaires, the larger banking class, the larger ruling class that wants to subjugate the rest of humanity like little farm animals. And now, having them being called out by Donald J. Trump and Javier Milei today, epic and beautiful. As of course I was saying, this was going to be the important hallmarker for Donald Trump, as of course this is going to set the tone for how he is going to be dealing with these larger, very powerful globalists. And we had a very interesting mixed message, but overall the message was freedom, sovereignty, and the nonsense when it comes to screwing over America and its people stops now. Here's a segment that I thought was very interesting in the beginning of Trump's speech that actually, at the beginning was very kind of open, very kind of light, and then just kept getting heavier and heavier and heavier. And what he said to the CEO of a major bank, we'll play that in a little bit, but here's a portion of the clip that I thought was very important because it set the tone for the larger message that Donald Trump is going to be representing for the future of his administration, which already is knocking it out the park, freeing Ross, going after DEI, going after a lot of the criminal illegals. Top-notch stuff, and again, he reiterated a lot of his future plans, which he's going to be following through on, since he is, in this particular short segment here.
Again, it's a strong, sovereign nation. In addition, I'm pleased to report that America is also a free nation once again. On day one, I signed an executive order to stop all government censorship. No longer will our government label the speech of our own citizens as misinformation or disinformation.
Yep, and this is an important part here that Donald Trump brought up here. As of course, Davos, the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, all these larger institutions thrived off of censorship. They thrived off of destroying people's free speech. They thrived off of setting up a chilling effect, especially when it came to doctors and other medical professionals that lost their licenses, that lost their job, that lost their ability to speak online to each other, to their family members, because they colluded with big tech social media when it came to their larger plans and their larger visions that they carried out all through, of course, censorship. So Donald Trump addressing this, saying, no. Your major power that you wield against all of us, that's done. We're not going to do that anymore. And that's why this was so key and so important here, because again, Donald Trump didn't just say this. He signed the executive order that I had friends that were literally helping him write and work on to deal with the language to make sure that censorship by governments when it comes to trying to coalesce and concentrate a lot of their power for themselves, it's done. It's over with, especially when it comes to the larger collusion here. That is their main weapon that Donald Trump just took away from them and announced publicly and rubbed it right into their face during this address. The address continues.
Which are the favorite words of censors and those who wish to stop the free exchange of ideas and, frankly, progress. We have saved free speech in America, and we've saved it strongly with another historic executive order this week. I also ended the weaponization of law enforcement against the American people and, frankly, against politicians, and restored the fair, equal, and impartial rule of law. My administration has taken action to abolish all discriminatory diversity, equity, and inclusion nonsense. And these are policies that were absolute nonsense.
Those are policies that the World Economic Forum and other globalists like the Pope and the Rothschilds were literally pushing forward as, quote, inclusive capitalism. But it wasn't inclusive capitalism. It was capitalism for, of course, the super rich that were able to keep their profits, and communism, socialism for everyone else for the greater good that really just redistributed all of their wealth to the super rich. You look at what happened during the 2020 and 2021 health scare. What happened during that time financially? There was this larger push for racial divisions, which was all, of course, done with exclusivity. We're gonna be diverse. No, the hell you're not. It's all about discriminating against people. But more importantly, what did these policies kind of foment? What did they create? They created one of the largest transfers of wealth in recorded human history, where the money went from the people to the billionaire to the super rich tech oligarch class that, of course, gained a lot of money. The globalist class that gained a lot of money, that gained a lot of power from all of this. And Donald Trump calling this out in real time, epic and beautiful. He continues on.
Throughout the government and the private sector, with the recent yet somewhat unexpected great Supreme Court decision just made, America will once again become a merit-based country. You have to hear that word.
Yeah, you have to hear that word, globalist, a merit-based country, as of course this unwinds their larger schemes to try to destroy the small, up-and-coming, and middle-class businessman that threaten their kind of monopoly of power against everyone else. So again, Donald Trump, say what you may, especially about his latest AI initiative, which isn't the best. We criticized, we made a video about this, not so long ago on this particular YouTube channel, youtube.com/wearechange. But when he talks about the larger kind of discriminatory efforts, especially in the banking policies, when he addresses the banking CEO of Bank of America, we're going to show that clip in a little bit. He's talking about what actually has been happening for quite a long time, especially to us. We were one of the first YouTube channels to ever be demonetized. No one even knew what demonetization even was until we, of course, got hit with it very severely on YouTube. We opened up a t-shirt store. Now we're getting attacked, dealing with some significant pressures from the IRS. That's why we launched SaveLukeNow.com. We still have a limited amount of yard signs that are pretty spicy, and a few hats left that we're selling at a premium in order to raise funds here. But the best thing that you could do here is not just donate, but sign up to LukeUnfiltered.com in order to help us survive this larger kind of economic storm that we're dealing with. That's not fun to deal with. We appreciate all of your support, as your support is now kind of needed more than ever in order to keep us up and running. And we definitely appreciate everyone who has supported so far. It means a lot to us. We still got some of the hats left, as you can see here. They're great. They're great hats. Again, a little bit more of a premium, but it's a limited edition item that's personally signed that you could put up on your mantle, that you could put up on your wall, being like, look, I helped keep independent media alive. Look, I stood up and supported the guys that were there for me for over 20 plus years. Again, been doing this for 20 plus years, specifically in this specific field. And right now we're at a major turning point. I'm going to do my best to survive as much as I can, but we need your help more than ever. SaveLukeNow.com is the website. Go check it out, and there's multiple ways that you guys could get involved, and I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart getting involved and helping us out here dramatically. As, of course, a lot of people that we know, not only were raided by the FBI, but we're also debanked. Also, we're financially destroyed. I got financially destroyed a couple months ago. But a lot of people were financially destroyed by very unfair business practices by a lot of these top banksters, by a lot of these top globalists, as Donald Trump called one of them out to his face, as he called out the CEO of Bank of America right to his face. This is what you would never, ever see from any kind of other Republican president that, of course, wants the proper decorum. No, this guy says it like it is. this guy is willing to say, hey, globalist, stop debanking conservatives. Stop screwing over my people. And that type of bullishness, that type of brass, you could only respect here because it truly is standing up for the little guy, standing up for the people that were prosecuted unfairly by this larger unjust system that hates sovereignty, that hates freedom, that hates conservative values, that literally attacked it on all fronts, including the financial front, which Donald Trump brought up in this epic slap back. This is amazing. This is beautiful to see. Let's play the clip.
And by the way, speaking of you, and you've done a fantastic job, but I hope you start opening your bank to conservatives, because many conservatives complained that the banks are not allowing them to do business within the bank, and that included a place called Bank of America. They don't take conservative business, and I don't know if the regulators mandated that because of Biden or what, but you and Jamie and everybody, I hope you're going to open your banks to conservatives, because what you're doing is wrong.
Damn right.
Mr. President, I'll say that your friend Gianni said hello, told me to tell you hello, and we look forward to sponsoring the World Cup when it comes both this summer for the club and next year. So thank you for getting that for the United States.
Yeah, not really a rebuke there of the obvious facts. And man, this is what I voted for. This is what I paid for. This is what I wanted. And you can't script these types of moments. The fact that there wasn't any kind of like rebuke. Hey, no, President, that's not. No, the President of the United States just called you out for doing something wrong. And you have to sit there and frickin' take it because you know it's true. You know there was larger discriminations against conservatives, against free thinkers, against libertarians, against Bitcoiners that were also debanked tremendously, as Donald Trump has set forward America as the kind of leader when it comes to crypto and AI during the speech. Now, the AI stuff is a little concerning, especially when it comes to a lot of the tech, but the argument is being made here that, hey, Russia, China, and other countries are developing this, and we better develop it and make it a good thing rather than, of course, a negative thing. And, we could have that argument at a different day there. But truly, specifically when it comes to speech, I thought what Donald Trump said was absolutely critically important, since free speech is the larger disinfectant against a lot of the globalist lies and psyops that they run up against everyone. And having this kind of rebuked here was awesome. Talking about larger kind of bullish American economic plans was pretty epic here. As, of course, Javier Milei, the president of Argentina, who is a close ally to Donald Trump. And of course, the two agree on a lot. It looks like Donald Trump is following his kind of larger policies that Javier Milei was able to implement in Argentina that have helped out the people there tremendously. And this larger kind of experiment of anarchism, this larger experiment of libertarianism, this larger experiment of firing the bureaucrats, getting rid of the regulations, getting rid of the taxes that overburden the general population. It's an idea that worked for Argentina, and it's an idea now that will be put to the test here in America. It's already been put to the test in Argentina, thank goodness, because of Javier Milei, who came out and said that the woke global left is starting to crumble at Davos. Hell yeah, brother. I love to see it. It's amazing to have this larger declaration. Of course, he had other things to say that were a little bit too spicy to even mention here on this specific channel, but right on him. I mean, this is incredible. And as one Davos member said, Trump won. We have lost. And the ramifications of that, especially when it comes to the larger rebuke of this woke leftist divisive DEI ideology, it's one for the ages. It's one that we are seeing people actually being fired for. We are seeing people actually be held accountable for. And this is what we paid for, as of course a lot of gang members now are waking up and finding out, hey, I'm actually illegally in this country and I'm a gang member, that's not a good thing for me to be. And when you look at the larger globalist plans, one of the ways that they divide society is, of course, through open borders, open immigration that wreak havoc on local populations. And then they come back and they blame the people complaining about it as the true villains here, when in reality, it's the actual criminals that they imported, that they allowed in, that wreaked havoc on their society, that are also now finally being addressed. As, of course, there's a lot of corruption, a lot of criminality within government. Donald Trump looks like he is addressing a lot of it, facing it head on, and calling it out in real time. Now, how will this look like, especially with foreign policy? Well, that's what we're going to be focusing on the next video. As in the next video, I specifically want to talk about the larger negotiations happening right now between Russia, Ukraine, and Donald J. Trump. So make sure to subscribe, make sure to click the notification button, make sure, hey, if you're doing financially well, you got some money to spare, SaveLukeNow.com. I know a lot of people don't, and I don't want people who don't have money to contribute. But if you have a lot of money, you have nowhere, I don't know what to do with all this money. There's a lot of people out there like that. I'm not one of them. It's crazy when the government kind of comes in, just takes everything away from you. And that's essentially what I'm dealing with. And we truly do need your help and support, or we're going to have to, I don't know what we're going to do. It's just an uphill battle. But times are changing. I'm super optimistic about the future. I'm super optimistic about peace. Also, inside of Ukraine, I'll tell you why in the next video. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.